assistant's the assistant. Spirit Room's been here for 25 years. We do around 20 exhibits throughout the year. We are pleased to announce David Twamley and Joetta
Weible.
Weible, sorry, I had it and then I didn't. So if you would please, I don't know who's going first. David, would you like to go first?
Come on, you seasoned veteran.
But I had to bring somebody who had something intelligent to say with me. Collage. Peter Frank, he's an LA writer and art critic, but he says, collage is the form of the modern. The experiential growth and complexity of Western society has maintained a collage of experiences around us. The technique of combining disparate images, objects, textures, and colors into wholes leaves the sums of their parts revealed is the artistic technique that most accurately mimics our experience. So, and you say I couldn't have written that. So I use everything that's around me. And Jen, is she here?
No.
One of my favorite things is to go to Jen's trash can and get her palettes. You know, you mix your paint on a palette and you throw it away. Well, most of this is Jen's ex-palettes.
That's so cool.
I tear them up. When she's got her back turned, I steal them out of her trash can. And then another wonderful thing is, like tonight, old newspapers that people have walked on because they have all kinds of interesting, I think that's what this is. And of course, different kinds of paper that you tear up, and then you use markers, and some pieces that have pattern on them already, and some that are solid color, and that's what I do. These over here are monochromatic collages. In other words, they're varieties of one color. And they took forever. So I had a pile of all red pieces, and all yellow pieces, and all green pieces. And sometimes they'd accidentally get thrown on the floor, and then to pick them up again, all these little tiny pieces and glue them. So these were actually done almost 10 years ago. But I've never exhibited them, so here they are. So this is what I do. Combine painting and collage, put it all together. So.
Ooh, fantastic. Your turn, my dear.
Okay.
Yay!
I have notes.
Yeah!
And I've always enjoyed making things. I did a lot of drawing as a kid, and especially with my cousin Sandra, who became an abstract artist. She passed away. I sewed my own clothes. My mom was a seamstress and taught me how to sew. Knitting and crocheting, I'm always in the process of making it happen. And the yarn came in today. So I probably made at least 100 of them, and I just give them to people. So, and I'm working on yours too. And I designed my own, which is kind of hard on the yarn shop because I think I've estimated how much yarn I got, and then I run out and I have to go back and get more. Anyway, I'm on a first name basis with the people in the yarn shop. That's the beautiful U, E-W-E, which I think is a nice name.
Oh.
Bountiful.
Bountiful U,
Yep.
yes. I took lessons from a woman named Sandy Warren Gary. I saw her artwork in the Forest Edge Gallery, where I had some stuff too, eventually. But I took lessons from her for, I'd say, at least 3-4 summers. Yeah. And my friend Melinda Kloos and I took lessons from her for about 3 years. And then I began having art shows in our home in Detroit Lakes to sell my stuff and the jewelry that I make. This is one of those, and it's crocheted jewelry. And Jen was in my art show there at Detroit Lakes. You were, weren't you?
No,
You weren't.
it wasn't, but I helped frame a lot of things and I helped to get some of the arts up in there.
I thought you and Jennifer were both in March?
No, I wasn't, because
Somebody
I
else
was
was.
too big.
Oh,
I mean,
oh.
generally my work is large. And
Well, I have, at the lake, I have one of your huge ones.
You do?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. Well, somebody else was in it.
Yeah.
Okay, whoever that was, I don't remember.
Carmen.
Pardon?
Carmen?
I just,
Carmen was there.
maybe it
I
was.
think you did.
Okay. Anyway, then I was invited to join Marjorie Schlossman's painting group in Fargo, and that's been about 5 years that I've been in that group, which has been an absolutely wonderful experience. Everybody in there is just great to know. So, as I said, I have my art in four-stage gallery near Vergas. It's not there anymore. I'm in off the wall. I've got about 10 paintings there in Clipperwall. And the spirit room
Yeah.
here.
Woo.
Love the
I
place.
have a very supportive husband who's a jazz musician, and I think jazz and the abstract art kind of feed off each other. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, one last thing. My resume is over. Oh, hello. My resume is over there if you want to read my history. I went to school in LA and I lived there a long time.
If you go down the hallway, it's the second door on the left.
I think you thought I was an alien? Oh.
So David, I know that you told all of us, but for all the lovely people that are watching, you mentioned when you made all this artwork.
Well, a lot of it because of COVID, because you simply had nothing else to
Yeah,
do
that's
for
what
2
I-
years. Go from home to studio. So actually, COVID was a productive time.
It was
I know the
for me
whole
too.
world was suffering, but it was a very productive time.
For me as well. Yeah.
It was productive for us too.
Yes, it was.
Did you have shows during that period?
Yes, we did, and we had all of our classes that continued, and we wrote grant applications like crazy.
Really?
And brought in a ton of money.
Even
Oh,
like
it was-
dancing
Even
or
now, we're still.
The dancing was a lot smaller. They did like more private lessons and
Okay.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
out really well.
yeah, it was a wonderful. I hate to say it, but it was a wonderful time.
Okay.
So Joetta,
That's what I'm thinking.
before we end, can I have you talk a little bit about how you build up all your textures? Yeah, well, I get to ask you questions too.
Oh, yeah, you can ask me questions. I
Yeah.
also do collage, but I didn't bring any collages this time, so.
Yeah, but you've got such wonderful texture built up on all of these.
Yeah.
It's a very
I-
delicate subject.
The palette knife. I still remember. I was called out for overuse of the palette knife in my painting group, which I have taken with a large grain of salt. But at any rate, I like the ridges that sometimes, I didn't use it very much on this one, but I like the ridges that it would go over with a palette knife, that it kind of illuminates something. So I did use a palette knife on this. I usually start out with black lines, and I just randomly draw them, and then I pick what colors I want to use, and then I just start in. I never know where it's going to go. I don't have anything in particular in mind except the colors, and the black lines get mainly covered up. Let's see if I can, probably this one, which is not one of my favorites. These lines coming down through here were there originally, and then, but then, you know, I can't exactly describe how it ends up the way it ends up, because I'm not sure, just the colors, and then I just go for it. So this one has this one's a collage too. It's got some paper under here. It gives kind of a grid-like look. You can see the grid here especially. So that would be very bad in the painting group. At any rate, but you do collage too, David, and you didn't get called out, did you? So
Yeah, I really like
about
the grid work in that one.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I like it too. So
You know, I have a very specific question for you, and I don't know if you'll actually be able to answer, but you have this really lovely blue in this painting over here. And for a really lovely blue color in this painting over here.
Yeah.
What color blue is that?
It's a mix.
Is it mixed? We were talking about it earlier.
There's some, I get the basic, I get Dick Blick stuff when I can. It's been kind of unavailable now. But I think it's a blend of a particular blue and some turquoise. I use some liquid kind of paints too, that I mix the thicker paints with the liquid. And that's how I get different hues.
It is so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And this has a magic marker in it too.
Oh.
So all these little lines I did with a magic marker afterwards, and then after it dried, I varnished over it too.
I think this is my favorite one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love this piece.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anyone else have questions? Well, thank you both for, coming out and giving such a great talk. Yay!